Today on Pillow Talk, we're here with Lindsey Kimura. And I actually met Lindsey through one of our mutual friends, Jill. Her social media is Empowered by Jill. And if you're not following her, go follow her. She's amazing. But Lindsey stopped by our booth at the Yoga Expo. And for those of you that don't know what the Yoga Expo is, it's actually an annual sort of like trade show conference for all yoga wellness businesses. And so I had the chance very early on for the launch of the yoga pillow to showcase my product at the Yoga Expo and lives in LA. And the expo was in LA in the Pasadena area. So she was able to stop by and kind of check out our booth and try out the yoga pillow for the first time. I guess we can start with maybe some introductions. So for me, I'll go first. My name is Lochana. I'm the founder and inventor of the Yoga Pillow. I'm also a yoga teacher and have been practicing yoga and meditation for about 20 years now. I started when I was a very young, like in my family, like it was a very, pronounced practice in my family. So I started very young, but then I really got more into it in my 20s when I started doing, actual asana practices. It just made a huge difference for me. So with that, Lindsey, do you want to maybe do a couple of pointers on your background and your intro?
Yeah. Well, I wear many hats, so it's hard for me to say what I do in a title, but I'd say overall, I'm a clarity and conscious soul guide. So at the moment, my services are geared toward guiding soul led leaders, entrepreneurs, and creatives who have taken the road less traveled. So guiding them back to themselves so that they can show up to be their most empowered, authentic, creative selves. So I've been guiding and teaching for about 2 decades now. And through the lens of yoga, actually, I discovered it when I played soccer back in high school. I found it a way to be really mindful of stretching and getting the balance to like rigorous running and sprinting. I found yoga to be such a great practice. And then I would do it during soccer season in college to kind of like stretch. So my yoga journey has just been one of like always a consistent practice throughout whatever phase of life as a balancing force. And I would say now yoga to me is in every moment, like the practice of the principles and just yoga in general and having that
Yeah.
unity.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's so amazing, your background. I didn't know that actually before. So that's really, I'm excited to learn that about you today. And I completely agree. I really think of yoga as more of a lifestyle, bring it into your day-to-day life and kind of incorporating it where you can. I like to think that mindfulness is everywhere. We just have to kind of tap into that and see how it shows up for us. So with that said, we are going to dive into, this video that Jill so graciously recorded for us. And it's Lindsey's first time trying the yoga pillow. So I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to watch that together and then do some, kind of commentary and, like feedback on like what were you thinking at that time? Like what was really going on in your body, all that kind of stuff. I think this is just the start. You just came to our booth and I'm showing you the yoga pillow. First try. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, why don't we just do like basic poses? Like, why don't we do seated meditations? I'll do it like in classes, they get us to sit. Okay, so I just keyed you into seated meditation. Yeah. Yeah, how does it feel? I'm gonna pause right now. I'm like in that state, like when you first sat on it, like what was sort of the reaction in your mind going? I mean, we saw it on your face, like you were just almost like a sense of like relief and wow. But what do you think? I want to get it from your point of view.
Yeah, I just felt really easeful and like, whoa, this doesn't hurt. This feels super comfortable. Like when you sink into memory foam or something that feels welcoming and it can hold you. And so, yeah, I'm like, wow, it doesn't have to be painful to sit on a yoga block.
No, it doesn't. Yes, that was exactly my, experience too. Like we would sit on the blocks and like, if you sat for more than a few minutes, it would get somewhat painful. And, like the immediate, instance of sitting on the block is kind of a bit jarring too. You're like, oh, I'm sitting on the block. Okay. But this doesn't feel like that, right? Like you just seemed a lot more, like you said, just sort of eased into your sit bones basically and just kind of settled in, right?
Yes.
Let's continue.
Less clothes, like if you're doing hot yoga.
Exactly, like with the little shorts and stuff. the other pose that's really good is the kneeling seated. So now we're going to hero. This is kind of similar to the other ones, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like I'm in a beautiful like couch.
That's so funny. Like, what did you mean by that? That you like feel like you're sitting on a couch? Because like for me, like it's completely opposite. I would never think of a couch if I'm doing yoga, you know? And so I'm just like wondering, like, why did that word come to your mind?
Yeah, I think the couch is very restful and easy, cozy, soft. And that is not the normal feeling on a typical yoga block.
Okay, wow. Yeah, no, 100%. And how did like sitting in hero pose like feel? Did that feel a little bit different from, the cross-legged seated meditation?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it with the block or without it. It felt more buoyant in a way because
Oh,
of the
wow.
nature of the posture itself. Like there's a little more of an up energy versus the cross-legged felt more kind of downward force. This
More grounding, like a little bit more grounding versus more lifted, I guess is the word.
yes,
Interesting.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah. Jill was so good about like doing a full frontal. Like,
Yeah. I should have cleaned my shoes.
that's so funny. And then also, okay, and then now we're going into sort of like the spinal theory. And I really love it. We want to actually do these poses almost every day, and I just um like notice a complete difference in just how less stiff my back is, how much more like decompressed it is. And so now we're going to get to the supported fish pose. This was so nice. Said it. It's just like what were your different trips in that one? You're actually just about going into transition, talking about the transition.
Yeah, it's not so
Oh yeah.
we're in the age of Larry.
I guess that was the other thing I wanted to ask you. But let's first go back and talk about like what were you feeling in the supported fish pose? How was that like to you?
Yeah, it was so nice to open the heart with softness and
I love that. Oh my gosh. Open the heart with softness. That's awesome.
yeah, and just like allowing the muscles to relax and a soft way of opening rather than ooh, now I have to adjust because my body just pushed up against a hard object and you kind of tense up versus this, you could relax the muscles and
Oh
full
wow.
in the front of the chest or the front of the kind of collarbones.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. That's a really good point because a lot of times in some of these yoga poses, a lot of times you're cued into more of an active, hold of the pose, which is really great. Like really good to do active poses. Really builds up the strength in the muscles. But sometimes you want some softening in the muscles and then just allow the joint to just lay, right? Just, the spine to just lay like comfortably without getting any kind of tension on it. So that's a really good point that you mentioned that there was a softness to opening the heart. Whereas before you would use a lot of strength and like activation of the back muscles to really kind of elongate the spine and kind of go into more of that back bend.
Yeah, because I think the body naturally will, like muscles contract when you are up against something hard or cold or
That's
it's some type
very
of
true.
shock to the body versus
Yeah.
you are feeling held so you can release, relax, and open.
Very true, very true. Okay, we'll go on.
Things don't have to be so hard.
So that was right after you said this is the age of Aquarius and things don't have to be so hard. So I wanted to ask, like, what, unrelated to maybe postures, just like what was your mind? Like, why did you mention this is the age of Aquarius? Like, why did that pop up for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. Where was my brain at that time? I think I meant kind of like a more feminine approach because I was thinking of the water bearer and fluidity with air and water and almost like a more light etheric quality and yeah, less of the kind of Piscean age structure and like black and white hard
Mm.
three-dimensional infrastructure and more like fluidity, ease,
Yeah.
balance.
That's true. Yeah, no, those all make sense to me. Okay, that sounds awesome. Let's continue.
That's gonna go on a slogan.
Yeah, this was just such a fun little video that we got to make. And you're just like really like going in it, just kind of like fully relaxing. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love that you said that. And then now we're going into supported bridge, which is a really common pose that's cute even in some more power type classes. And this
Amazing. I feel like it's a couch for my pelvis.
Another reference to the couch.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like I'm just feeling like that whole reference to the couch. Like I just think of like lazy boys, just like laying down, just chilling, but then still getting that rest and rejuvenation and that, refreshing, nature that you can get when you just kind of like lay down on your couch. Right.
Yes. And actually, you know what's so interesting? I had a few of my friends come over. We're collaborating in a project. And one of my friends, or I told them, I'm like, I don't really have a place to rest in my apartment. This is the same day that we talked our first conversation with the pillow.
Okay.
And she said, you know what? I'm going to drop off a mat for you. So she drops off this memory foam mat. And I felt like I could really just let go and exhale and breathe.
wow.
And I felt the same way with the pillow, where
Oh, wow.
just like be held, exhale, let go. Whereas during the day, we're always so tight and tense and doing nothing holds us up. Like
Yeah.
looking down on this is a nice way to soften the effects of gravity.
Oh, I love that. Soften the effects of gravity. That is such a great way to put that. And then I think we have one more pose left.
No, I'm serious. Like you can actually put your weight down.
Yep,
without
that's what you're saying. To put your weight down, just kind of relax, we'll all over it.
Yeah. Wow. And then if you want to.
And then from there, we can love to higher.
Forgot what that said.
And yeah, you're just still like enjoying yourself.
A lot longer. Yeah. The leg fall.
Yeah.
Support.
And that's a really common thing. Like you tend to fall or can't get as much support.
It's not coming. Oh,
Yeah, like 30
you
minutes
added
out
some
for
fattening to the part.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know. Look at you go, girl. You on your couch. Your pelvis couch.
Oh my god. I'm waiting for.
Oh my god. Yeah, wait, another one. Gift for the hips.
Do that again. A gift for the hips. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite. But yeah, yeah, a gift for the hips. That's like what you were thinking about that. Like what was going in your mind? Like I did a gift for the hips come to your mind.
So I feel so
good.
so much.
Like and then flying, so I can use like
Just tap someone
yeah.
tension.
Right.
And so to be able to rest specifically the pelvis, because in so many yoga postures, you want to really drop the pelvis and feel like it's a heavy weight. But like if you're dropping a heavy weight on something that's hard, it's like difficult to really drop in. Whereas if you're dropping into a cushion type feel, then you can actually achieve the letting go, which I think is a huge need in today's society to relax, let go, be held. We're constantly doing and achieving. And so it's so much more, I think, than just a pillow.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I know when you said to be held, it's almost like this is just another way to be able to like hold yourself, right? Sometimes it's so important to have that ability to be able to take care of ourselves that way, not just in our bodies, but even, mentally, spiritually, all of the above, right? And to have that, few minutes a day that you can set aside to do a couple of, relaxing, rejuvenating poses with the yoga pillow, like, oh my gosh, like I feel like that could be life changing doing that daily, right? So
And it's so practical to have such a small pillow. You don't need to bring a massive mat or a couch or something. Like you can get all of
exactly.
that in travel size and
Mhm.
so practical and easy to store and just use. So
Thank you so much for stopping by, my booth that day and checking it out and coming over. It was so nice to meet you that day. You're such a delight. Yeah, let us know how you like the yoga pillow. Did you get your one in the mail already?
not yet, but knowing the universe is probably showing up today.
Okay, I know, right? Oh man, I can't wait. Yeah. Well, thank you so much again. This has been such a pleasure, and I really, really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. And thank you for creating this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just. I mean, I'm almost like thanking the universe, right? Like this, the universe gave it through me. So
Inspired. And
thank-
also you're bringing that femininity to things and soft.
Mhm.
Again, not so edgy and hard, but why don't you be soft and held and comfortable?
Yes, thank you so much.